grants people this freedom. And implied and implicit in these freedoms that are given to us by law is the truly remarkable amount of freedom that you're given to practice your chosen religion or faith, or none at all, or even to speak out against them. So if that's the case, and that's the America we claim we love and support, then we see someone coming along that's not our religion. Why do we dismiss them? Why is it so easy to just say, hey, Christianity was here before and it rules, so you're going to have to take your Ramadan and shove it up your Rama butt or your llama butt? That's not American to me. I'm sorry. It's not American. What is American is to look at what your constitutional rights are and realize that everybody else that's an American citizen also has those rights. And the way they use those rights are not going to necessarily match the way you use yours. The idea is that everybody can get along even if they believe in different things. You know, I see so many people saying, I love America. I love the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. And everything's fine till you disagree with them. Soon as you have the wrong religion, or you're the wrong color, or you're the wrong sex, all of the sudden, all those things guaranteed in the Constitution, nah, we didn't mean it for that. No, it ain't freedom of religion if you're going to be a Muslimi. No, it is. It is. You can be a Muslim. You're either going to love it or hate it. If you don't like it, get in touch with your congresspeople. Tell them you want all religions outlawed that don't match your religion. Get in touch with your congresspeople and say there shouldn't be anybody allowed in America except for white males and pretty white females. You can write them a letter. Or you can realize what the founding fathers wanted this country to be, and the freedoms that they put forth should be treasured. They really should be. But what we forget is that they apply to all Americans. They really do. Even minorities. Even people who have different religions than you. Even people who have extreme political beliefs. They have the same freedoms as you. Yep. I don't know. I find America stronger when she is allowing for all of her people to exercise their freedoms to the 10th degree. KTap is fine. Yeah. I prefer KAK, just the initials. This is KAK. The only reason I don't like KAK is because it sounds like cake, and I already need to lose 10 or 15 pounds, so I don't like KAK. And CAC sounds like it sounds like somebody who is coughed up a hairball, so that won't work. KTap could also be your secret French rapper name. True. Since I'm not going to be Super Negro, which is the name of the song, I'm not offending anybody. And if I am, fuck you, because I can say the name of a song in America, and I shouldn't be put on the hot seat for it. It's called Super Negro by Genghis, featuring Stereo Blackstar. I haven't played it in a while. KAK loses. It does, man. I'm sorry, because I've tried it before, Paul. I'm sorry. KTap. Okay, we got some votes for KTap. All right, so that's going to be my little nick. I got to get used to that now. I got to start incorporating that into my thinking. I got to make rhymes that go with it, you know. KTap going to FAP, that type of thing. Is that how you pronounce FAP, or is it FOP? I've only seen it spelled FAP. I don't know if it's or if it's like a FAYP, like it's got the I don't know. I've never FAYPed as far as I know. I would assume that if it's FAPed, then down south they would say FAYP. So they add a syllable. It's not one syllable, it becomes two when you go down south. With a lot of one-syllable words become two syllables down there. Yeah, yes, things of that nature. So KTap it is, KTap and the truth on tap. And this is about to end up in a rap. Not a real rap, though. You're losing me with your views. I feel like you lean more to the left, but sometimes you say fairly. You're right, Ash. I know that. And I've always been that way. This is where you're going to find a dichotomy with me, and I just accept it. I don't try to explain it or make sense of it. I tend to lean right on fiscal issues. I like the way conservatives tend to handle money vis-a-vis the government. I tend to lean left on social policies. I think we need to have social policies in place that take care of our very young, very old, and very sick. And there's an occasional disconnect when I will jump over to, look, I'm being politically correct, but this is fucking not politically correct. You know, like I just said, there's a song called Super Negro. Everybody that knows me knows I don't have a strand of racism in my DNA. But the song's called Super Negro. I'm not afraid to say the title of that song. So the question is, well, Kevin, if you have some friends, and, you know, everybody's, you know, so you've got some black friends that say, Kevin, I heard you say the name of that song, Super Negro, on your show, and I felt a little offended. I would talk to them about it. I would say, look, that's the title of a song. They called it that. I think it's kind of catchy, personally. So you want me to stop saying that because the word Negro brings up in you the imagery of the black person, you know, pre-1930s, and that is a painful connection. What I would suggest is that you then contact Genghis and tell them they should change the title of their song, because I'm not going to beat around the bush about the title of this song when I'm talking about the title. You know, I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's the way I think. I do believe some things are way stupid on the politically correct scale. I really do. I haven't examined them much tonight, but I do. I tend to lean left socially, lean right on typical finance policy, or a little right. I'm actually not way left on either. I'm very centrist. But if you made me choose and say, all right, Kevin, you're going to tell me right now, you're either center left or center right, which is it? I'd say center left. I just am. I've looked at all the policies. I've looked at the results of those policies, and I lean slightly to the left. Most of my friends tend to lean to the right. I don't know why that is. I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. Maybe it's because I have this mix. You know, I came up in a small town. Everybody's Republican. I was brought up Republican and on the right. Then I go to school, get my education in college. I'm around a lot of liberals there, and I'm getting this exposure, different avenues, and I'm putting them together, and this is what I come up with, you know. I don't know. I like when you lean left, there is a certain openness and freedom and understanding and empathy that I feel in general. When I look over on the right, I sense this anger and hatred and fear of change that I believe hinders progress. So these are things that shape my views, and I can't prove my views are right any more than you can prove yours are right. It's just, what have we learned? What do we believe? You know, you've got your genetic makeup, your nature versus nurture. How were you brought up? How many people do you know that are of one religion or another, and they're dedicated to it because their parents told them to be, because their parents took them to church every Sunday or took them to the mosque every other day? You know, what about that? And you're going, I guess I shouldn't question my religion because my parents told me that it's the right one. The same parents that had you believing in Santa and the Easter Bunny, and that if you touched it too much, it would fall off. Suddenly, when it comes to a deity, you can't question them? Yes, you can. You can question your religion. You should question your religion. Because if you don't question it, then deep down I won't believe that you even believe in your religion. If you just take it at face value, I'll just say there's a person who didn't want to do the research and said, I'll subscribe. Where do I sign? So this is Christianity? Okay, I'm in. Yep. All right, so you're telling me there's a castle, I wear a halo, I get to listen to any music I want when I die? All right, I'll take it. I want that. I'm signing up for that one. That's really what it is. That's what it is with a lot of people. And that's why I'm agnostic. And I tell people right up front, I don't know. That's my whole, if you want to describe me in 3 words, I am adamantly convinced that I don't know. There are a lot of people out there that say they know and believe they know that I firmly believe don't know, because I've seen the way they compile their evidence and come to their conclusions, and it's an atrocity to the field of logic and critical thinking. All I ask is that people have evidence for their beliefs, especially if they're going to put them forth with energy and emotion. Have some evidence for it. Have something. Faith issues, I won't argue. Faith issues are magical. There's a special place in the heart. It's actually in the brain, but that works on those types of things. They've done studies that show that prayer seems to help people, and it's measurable, that are in medical situations. So I'm not messing with that. It's just stuff that I've got no evidence for or against. You know, you might as well be talking to me about what dolphins are saying to each other at a given moment. I don't know. I don't have the information. So that's how I feel about it. Anyway, this show tonight was, what was it? I mean, I don't know. I couldn't really put a theme to it. It was mostly, I guess it was mostly about political correctness. Sometimes political correctness is stupid and goes overboard, and other times it's just being nice. It's just being respectful of your fellow human. You know where the line is. We disagree on it, but you know where the line is. And all you've got to do to know where the line is walk in their shoes in your imagination for 5 minutes. Become the Muslim. If you're atheist or Muslim or Jew, become the Christian. All right, become the Buddhist. Become the faithful member of the Flying Spaghetti Monster Church. And just imagine what it's like to see and hear and feel what they go through every day. And you'll probably find yourself being a little more empathetic. And as I've said before, and I'll say again, Helen Keller said that the best outcome of education, the best outcome there can be, is tolerance. And that doesn't mean that you should tolerate terrible things. It just means you should tolerate your fellow human if they're not doing anything to hurt anybody and they really want the same things out of life as you do. That's all I'm saying. Well, that had a kind of a corny Jerry Springer end of the show feel to it. I won't apologize for that because I don't care enough to apologize for that. But if I did, I would surely apologize right now. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm not going to play any music. This was kind of rare. This was a test show, really, but maybe it was more of a test than just audio. If you look down deep into your soul and ask what you'll put up with and what you won't, if you look down into your mind and say what is politically correct and what is just having good manners, it's a fine line. And I think in America, though the gaps are widening because the media is dividing us even more than we were before, there's always going to be that fine line of when you've gone over the edge on something. You know, when you've wrapped yourself around a tree that you don't want to have cut down, when the company that's cut it down has already planted 10 trees to replace it, but you didn't do your research. So, you know, there's extremes all over the place. And the question is, when is the line crossed? And that's always going to be a gray area. So I walk with you through that grayness, and we try to figure the shit out. You know, what are you going to do? So don't forget to check out everybody on here who has a show. I don't think Desert Rose was here tonight. For some reason, I was thinking she was coming. But don't forget to check out Alan Wayne. Don't forget to check out Paul Dembski, Apocalypse, Grandpa Al Kruska. Ash, I don't think you do a show. I ask you this every week, and I forget. My short-term memory's gone. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. Then again, who the fuck thinks I'm going to remember that topic next week? I don't. My vote's not in for that. Who else have I missed in here? Andrew, my favorite Australian, in there, and I'm doing this off memory. I don't even have my chat room open right now. You guys know Paul Dembski does a show in the Great Northeast Kingdom. Val's in there. I can't remember if she does a show either. I always forget. If you guys do shows, you can go advertise your shit on my Facebook page. I'll just leave it at that. We'll go with that. I don't want to drag this out too long. I do want to encourage you guys in the future to get in on the chat. If you're listening on iHeartRadio later, try to come and listen live so you can participate in the chat. You can call in and be on the show. Things are getting better. The computer system and the software is getting better. We're getting more stable. and the program's getting better. I mean, we're going to start focusing on more hot